Star Wars 7x7 episode 2816. So usually we do a what to watch thing on Saturday, but we're doing it on Sunday today because of the Obi-Wan and Mandalorian news that we talked about yesterday. Anyway, so I made you a playlist on YouTube that might be worth checking out, and I'll talk a little bit about it here. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy. And thank you so much for joining me for it. So in previous episodes where we've talked about YouTube stuff, we've talked about Star Wars content on, say, the Disney YouTube channel or the Disney Plus YouTube channel. Well, this time it's something entirely different. It's Industrial Light and Magic's YouTube channel. They've got stuff. It's really strange when you look at the channel because they've had stuff on there for like 10 years or something like that, but it's not until you get to around 6 years or so that you actually start to see stuff that's Star Wars related somehow. All of it prior to that is focused on other movies for which ILM was doing visual effects, which is, cool and interesting and wonderful, but it's just kind of a surprise that it wasn't until we get into sequel trilogy movies that you actually see some stuff from ILM about Star Wars in specific. But once they got into the sequel era, they started pumping them out. There are 29 of them actually on the ILM YouTube channel that are specific to Star Wars, and I made a playlist out of all of them and tied it to the podcast YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/SW7x7 and look at our playlists there, one of them is going to be ILM Star Wars videos, and it's got all of them there for you. For today's episode, I checked out 5 of them that were specific to Rogue One. I've been feeling a little bit nostalgic about that particular movie, and it's funny that it turned out that way because the first video in the set of 5 that are specific to Rogue One, it's called Chain Reaction, and it features John Knoll and all of the VFX crew that worked on Rogue One. And John Knoll introduces the video by saying that they had just released the trailer and the people who were in the room with him had worked on the trailer for Rogue One, so this would be back in April of 2016. And they talked about how people were posting reaction videos and how cool it was, and so they made a supercut of reaction videos to show to the entire VFX crew. And so you get to watch the reaction videos along with the VFX crew reacting, which is a little meta in a way, but it's so cool. And the reaction videos come from people all over the world too, which is also awesome. And the immediate reactions, like the things that people were just jumping up and down about, like young Mon Mothma. It's like, it's Mon Mothma, it's Mon Mothma. And then the Death Star, of course, and then Forrest Whitaker as Saw Gerrera, and Donnie Yen as Chirrut Imwe, and of course, Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso delivering her line, I Rebel, was a big hit too. So yeah, what fun it was to watch that. I mean, it's a great nostalgic thing in its own right. And then the other 4 videos are, I guess, what you would expect from a visual effects studio type of video. They're labeled Behind the Magic, and they are all about the creation of certain scenes within Rogue One. 3 of them were released in February of 2017, and they were tied to the fact that Rogue One had been nominated for an Academy Award for their visual effects, and so basically you could consider it like a little bit of a commercial for the visual effects that they put together for Rogue One. One of those videos was specific to Jedha and Scarif. The Jedha part was about the giant explosion and our heroes having to escape from that. And the Scarif part was about the beach battle. And it's really strange to see the Scarif Rebel Pathfinders and the Shore Troopers running around, and you see these giant blue walls in the background, and then they layer over where you see, the beaches and the palm trees and all that stuff. Just crazy. Then the second of the Oscar-related videos has to do with the Battle of Scarif, and in particular, the starship battle that's happening above the planet. And funnily enough, it actually kind of addresses something that was raised in the Chain Reaction video. So one of the things that they showed people reacting to was the Star Destroyers and how well they were lit and how good they looked and how detailed, and there were questions about whether it was an actual model or whether it was CGI. And this particular video seems to answer the question, and it seems like the answer is C, all of the above, because they show a large model of a Star Destroyer and then they show it getting scanned in, like pieces getting scanned in, and then they show it being digitally reconstructed for various scenes, including the scene where the Hammerhead Corvette smashes one Star Destroyer into the other. And they also show Gareth Edwards, the director of Rogue One, using their virtual camera system to kind of direct a scene and to actually see how it's unfolding in a sort of virtual reality space. And the third of the Oscar ones is about CGI Governor Tarkin. So they show Guy Henry and they show how they did various lighting tests, and you actually get to see Guy Henry on set with a giant headgear. I mean, it looks like, you know, if you ever had braces and you had headgear that went with the braces, like imagine the worst possible headgear for braces you could have ever had, like that it wrapped around the top of your head as well. Like it was that crazy. That's the kind of rig that Guy Henry was wearing on set for Rogue One, and they show him on set delivering the dialogue, playing Governor Tarkin with other people around him. Like, I don't know how you see a guy with all this stuff on his face, and also it looks like he has measles because they have all the little dots on his face as the reference points to be able to do the CGI business, right? It's so crazy. I don't know how you take it seriously when somebody is looking at you and has all that stuff going on. And the final one of the 5 videos that are Rogue One specific is a full-length behind the magic reel, and it was apparently debuted or screened at a computer animation festival in 2017 and officially released to the general public in September of 2017. So that one's like a 3-minute long video, and it has more detail about how they did the visual effects for Jeddah, like Jeddah City in specific, and also Edu and the X-Wing Starfighter strafing run on the base there. You also get some Death Star stuff, some Tarkin stuff, some Scarif stuff, and one of the things that was really cool, particularly in this video, is that they show how, if you remember, Red Leader from Star Wars A New Hope was digitally inserted into Rogue One in this battle. Well, they give you little bits and pieces of how they actually made that happen with the archival footage and how they switched out the backgrounds to make it a little bit different and cleaned up the video from the old movie and stuff. So that's pretty intriguing. And there's also some stuff on Jeddah as well with the giant explosion where you see more of what they do with the actual landscape. And the fact that, you know, all that Earth is exploding upward and about to overwhelm the U-Wing as it's trying to escape, well, you get to see the digital construction of the Earth basically on Jeddah, and so you realize like they're actually modeling the planet down to like multiple layers of Earth and bedrock and stuff like that, and you kind of have a moment of why are they going to that much trouble and detail? Like, why don't they just do a surface and just leave it at that? Why do they have to go all the way down? Well, that's because they blew it all up with the Death Star attack. So yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff, especially if you're into the special effects thing. I can't say that, you know, I'm not really super into it, but I'm just fascinated by it, and I thought it was so cool, and I think it's amazing that they share it with us, and so I wanted to put it together in a place where it would be really easy for you to check out. So yeah, head on over to youtube.com/SW7X7 if you're not already watching this on the YouTube channel already, and check out the playlist for ILM Star Wars videos. Look for the Rogue One ones. They're pretty cool, and there's another 24 other ones you can check out as well. And that's going to do it for today's episode of the podcast. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.